What up, Fight World? It's your boy Ego, and I'm back with some more boxing. Now, my last video pissed some of y'all off. Some of you guys agreed, and some of you guys were pissed off. And I sit back, and this shit is so funny to me how worked up some of you get. On my Instagram, at BOXINGEGO, I did a meme about last week. It was my Macho Man Randy Savage impersonation, and that reminds me of how some of you Pacquiao diehard extremist fans get all worked up. It's check out. I'll put it in the description. I'll put the link in the description. In this video, I did want to talk about Danny Garcia and Manny Pacquiao, that potential fight. Now, if the fight's happening at 140, it's a very intriguing fight for me, and I'm going to break it down in this video. I have no problems with that fight. The only thing that I don't really understand is Angel Garcia specifically, and also Danny Garcia. They've been on several interviews through media outlets, and for a while now, they keep saying like the move is to go to 147, 147, 147. So if Danny Garcia is trying to go up to 147 and Pacquiao is trying to come down, what does that mean? Are they going to fight at a catch weight? All of this is just foreshadowing, if you will, because Pacquiao still has a fight signed up with Chris Algieri, so we have to wait to see the outcome. So this is all speculative. Basically, if he gets past Chris Algieri, which I think he will. Danny Garcia, Pacquiao, I like the fight. In fact, I like this fight a lot more than Floyd Mayweather versus Danny Garcia. Now, if Floyd fought Danny Garcia, I mean, I wouldn't complain. It's two undefeated fighters and whatnot. But I like the matchup with Pacquiao more, and that's for the simple fact that stylistically, it's more intriguing to me. Based on Danny Garcia's style and what he struggled with, I think Floyd Mayweather would just box his ears off. And, you know what I'm saying? I could be wrong, but I really see him being kind of slow, flat-footed, and stylistically, what he's good at, what Danny Garcia is good at, I don't think that will mesh well with Floyd, who, you know what I mean, can move. I think with Pacquiao, it's a different story because Pacquiao has struggled in the past with good counterpunchers. Some of you guys don't agree with this, but fuck the bullshit. Danny Garcia is an underrated counterpuncher. He's a good counterpuncher. He's good with timing. You could see it's evident in the Amir Khan fight. Also in the Zab Judah fight. Zab Judah is an athletic guy even at this age, and he was dominating that first half of that fight. And he was doing it based on timing. Also, I think Danny Garcia has one of the best left hooks in the business. And I would even say more so than Nonito Donaire, because as Donaire, I'm talking about current Donaire, not past Donaire. Current Donaire, we haven't really seen his left hook become that devastating, but we've seen Danny Garcia's hook in fights. You know what I'm saying? So Danny Garcia is a good hooker. That's another thing that I like about the fight. Plus, he's big. A lot of people don't take this into consideration. Even though he's at 140, I've seen him like walking around weight, and he's a lot bigger than he kind of shrinks down to get to 140. I could assure you that, because I see him in, like, you know what I mean? Like, he'll be in the crowd at a Showtime card or something, and he'll be wearing a tight like shirt or whatever, and you could see the dude. He's big. He's kind of like stocky, very muscular. As far as Pacquiao, the reason that this makes this fight exciting for me is because the thing Pacquiao does well has posed problems for Danny Garcia. Pacquiao has been known to let his hands go, and he can jab. When you let your hands go, as evident in the Mauricio Herrera fight, that troubled Danny Garcia, especially with the jab. Pacquiao has fast hands. He's faster than Mauricio Herrera, in my opinion. So for that reason, it's interesting. Plus, Pacquiao has more power than Mauricio Herrera. So with good footwork, Amir Khan and Mauricio Herrera were able to outbox Danny Garcia and make him miss and things like that. So what does Pacquiao have? The ability to let his hands go, hit you from angles, more power, probably than Amir Khan, as well as Mauricio Herrera. So it's intriguing for that reason, because Amir Khan was doing good early in the fight, and then he got clipped. So will Pacquiao be able to stay out of danger, out of the way of that left hook, and just do basically what he did to like Brandon Rios and kind of embarrass Danny Garcia? But basically, each other's style has in the past been more or less problematic for the other person. That's why I like this fight a lot. And like I said, I don't know what weight it would happen at, but I really like the fight if they can make it. And of course, Pacquiao gets past Chris Algieri in the spectacular fashion. Looks good in that particular fight. This is a fight that I definitely wouldn't mind seeing. Plus, you got to give credit if Pacquiao does fight Danny Garcia. Um, I hope he drops down to the full 140. Like, enough of this catchweight shit. Either fight him at 47 or fight him at 40. That's my personal opinion. I think Pacquiao has had a lot of weight stipulations in his career. So just fight him at one weight or the other. You know what I mean? Don't meet in the middle like in the past. Fight him at 140 if that's what you want to do, or fight him at 147. That's my honest opinion. But I like it. I think this could be a pretty good explosive fight. Danny Garcia has definitely showed a chin. Pacquiao has showed a chin in the past. And Pacquiao has the veteran experience. Danny Garcia is gaining experience rapidly, but he doesn't have the level of experience like Pacquiao has. When Danny Garcia fought Morales, most people thought Morales was a shell of his former self and probably should have hung it up. Whereas when Pacquiao fought Morales, Morales was still that dude. You know what I mean? He looked even if you look at Morales' shape, he looked to be in better shape when he was fighting Pacquiao. Like, he's never been just the most built and ripped Timothy Bradley type of frame. But Morales looked like he was in way better shape back in the day than when he was fighting Danny Garcia. He just looked real soft, and he really looked like his nickname, El Terrible. Like, his shape looked horrible. He looked like he was in terrible shape. And he had that diuretic in his system in the rematch. Looks like he was struggling basically to make weight and keep the weight down at his age and stuff like that. So it's a good fight. It's kind of like the Nicholas Walters Donaire fight in terms of not saying the outcome will be the same, but in the sense of you have the more experienced, a little bit older veteran versus the young up and comer who's moving through the ranks and stuff like that. And then also, I think it's good for publicity reasons. Danny Garcia rapidly, in my opinion, needs to improve the public's perception of him. Like, after you fought Mauricio Herrera, that was considered a cherry pick fight because Kareem Mayfield was undefeated at the time, calling you out, and he even met up with you, and you said, "Oh, we're not fighting you. Who the fuck are you?" And then you picked the fighter that he beat to have as your showcase fight. Maybe you thought it was going to be easy work, and it was more difficult than you expected. And you, in my opinion, lost that fight to Mauricio Herrera. Then to bounce back after you say you won 8 rounds, you bounce back and fight a little-known Rod Salka that no one cared about, no one knew about. And I'm talking about, I have friends that don't really watch boxing or surface area friends, but I also have a lot of people that, like, if they were in the YTBC, they'll be able to hold their own and have a good, strong conversation about what's happening in boxing and fighters and strengths and weaknesses and stuff like that. So I do have boxing friends outside of like the YTBC and the internet and stuff like that. And nobody really knew who Rod Salka was. Like, people were like, I remember my friend text me, my friend Aaron, he was like, "Who the fuck is Salka? Like, who is this dude?" You know what I'm saying? People didn't know who he was. So in my opinion, Danny Garcia needs to do some damage control for his career. A lot of people, I even went to his page maybe a couple of days ago, and people were leaving cherries galore on his shit. Like, the post has nothing to do with a fight or anything. He'll be like, "Oh, congrats to my sisters for releasing their music video," and then people just load his page with cherries and shit like that. So fighting a respected fighter like a Pacquiao would improve that, especially if he can beat him. And I think Danny Garcia is at that point where stuff he said in the public, it's rubbing people the wrong way. Some people are calling him a paper champ, a cherry picker. My honest opinion about Danny Garcia, I can't say he's a cherry picker. I could say he was cherry picking in a specific situation, but I can't just outright call the man a cherry picker when he does have a good solid resume. He fought Nate Campbell. He fought a ton of guys like when it was relevant. He fought Eric Morales twice based on the rematch clause. Zab Judah, Lucas Matisse, people say he was going to get knocked out. He fought Mauricio Herrera. So he has a solid resume. Amir Khan. I can't call him a cherry picker based on one particular fight. You know what I mean? Like, I don't work like that. I don't operate like that. I can't just completely ignore and disregard everything you fucking did based on one decision. Unless the only real exception to that rule, when it's not an established pattern, is when you get busted for certain things. Like, if you got busted for cheating using loaded gloves or some shit, okay, now we can erase your history because now everything's in question and there's an asterisk by your fucking name and your wins because you were outright cheating. But because a guy takes a tune-up soft touch one particular time, I'm not gonna outright condemn the man. I didn't like it, and I, you know what I mean, I made memes about it, and I talk about it, and I spoke about it, but I can't call him himself a cherry picker when he was the underdog in a ton of fights. A ton of fights. The Amir Khan fight, underdog. Eric Morales won, underdog. A lot of people thought Zab Judah stylistically was going to eat him alive. Lucas Matisse, they said he was going to knock him out. So he was an underdog in a lot of fights, and he has a solid resume. So I can't call him a cherry picker. But I think he does need some damage control to get his career back and get the respect of the fans again. Because right now, from what I've perceived from the comments you guys have left, people aren't feeling Danny Garcia's attitude as a lineal champion. So to fight someone like a Pacquiao, that could get him right back on track. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like my video. Let me know what you think of my graphic. As always, hate, comment, or subscribe. Till next video is Ego signing off.